How's it going, folks? This is Russell from Toxic Pop reporting at Lexington Toy and Comic Con 2017. I am here with one of the greatest legends in the industry. You know him from both Babylon 5 and Tron, Mr. Bruce Boxleitner. Mr. Boxleitner, how you doing today?
Very good, very good.
Fantastic. Now, my first question for you is I'll just get cut to the chase. So, first of all, what's been your favorite role to date?
You know, I'm asked that constantly, and it's like, I have 3 sons. It's like being asked, which son is your favorite? You don't ever want to do that, right? They all like everything I've done, I put my heart and soul into. So I would probably say, actually, and this probably shocked the sci-fi crowd, I'd rather be doing Westerns than anything else. Right. And I started in Westerns and television, and that's kind of where my heart really lies. Every role I've ever played is still a cowboy.
Yahoo Buckaroo. Now,
even Tron was a cowboy.
If I may inquire, now, of all the roles that you've done, which have you found either the most challenging or the most memorable?
That's a hard question. I would probably say the most challenging was Babylon 5, because I kind of carried the weight of the show on my shoulder, on my character's shoulders, and even though it was a large ensemble cast, John Sheridan was pretty much the driver through it. You know, he pretty much drove the plots. Anyway, and it was a tremendous responsibility. As you know, that show was was a lot of heavy dialogue and a lot of lines. So just the work day was a lot of memorization, a lot of that sort of thing, more so than you would in. Even today, they have very little dialogue and things. It's mostly action, you know. Ours was real science fiction, not this Marvel comic book crap. I'm sorry, that's the way I feel. They call that science fiction today. It's not. It's a comic book. So it's the way it goes, you know.
Okay.
I have no opinions about anything.
Okay, now to tug at the heartstrings a little bit and really hit you in the feels. You had the opportunity to work on the Mary Tyler Moore Show with the, as of currently, recently passed Mary Tyler Moore and the legendary Ted Knight. What was that like?
Well, it was awesome because it was my very first job in Hollywood. I got my Screen Actors Guild card because of that show. My entire paycheck went to getting my union card so that I could work as a professional actor in Hollywood. But I know with her passing in the recent months, it made me reflect on how incredibly fortunate I was. I remember that was a very popular show in our home, and it was only on like maybe third season when I suddenly am out in Hollywood and I'm on it. So it was kind of a real mind trip there that, sitting at home with mom and dad on whatever night it was on, to like a blip in time, there I was working with them. And of course, Ted Knight, she was wonderful, Mary. She was very congenial. What you saw on screen is the way she was, and very congenial and helpful. And, I only had a couple lines, but the hilarious part was Ted Knight, because he's the one who brings me into the scene. And we were standing off on the other side of the flat waiting for this little light to go on for our cue to walk through the door, because he says, "Look who I found in the mailroom, Rick, meet," so anyway, thank God I had a lot of theatrical background, because if I hadn't, I probably would have not gotten through one take without laughing my head off, because he was absolutely hysterical. Talk about a wonderful talent too. I don't think anybody could have done that role better, and he was he had me in hysterics, and then as soon as that light went on, we were straight as an arrow, but very, very funny man, sweet guy, and we'll never see those likes again, so I was very fortunate.
All right, sounds very reasonable, and I'm so glad you had so many precious words for both of them. And now for the annoying geeky Tron questions. I'm kidding, folks. We all love Tron.
It's geek time.
So the first question is, how did you get the role as Tron?
I was offered it, and I turned it down. Then I got offered again, and I picked it up. I did it. I came to my senses and did it. Who knew? I mean, we're talking about it how many 30-some years later. So, it's something that the basic thing was that my contemporary, Jeff Bridges, who was, I had actually worked with his father, Lloyd, on How the West Was Won, who he did a 4-part story arc in our series then. So I worked with Lloyd, and he kept saying, you remind me so much of my son, Jeff, which was funny. And I said, I've always wanted to work with him, too. Because, when you're a young actor, you're kind of checking out who's in your category, who are the other young studs happening around then. And I admired the work he had done already. I'd seen a number of things, a little film called Bad Company, The Last Picture Show, a number of really great films he was in. And so that was really my motivation. First of all, it was a Disney movie. Disney, I'm the Disney generation kid who watched it in black and white on television on Sundays. Wonderful World of Disney. And feature film. I was only doing television at that time. And Jeff Bridges on top of that. So then when I went in a studio, the reason I turned it down was I was doing a Western for NBC. And when I got the script, it was mailed out to Tucson, the hotel in Tucson, Arizona. And I took it to work with me one day, and I was sitting on the horse out underneath some shade trees, and I'm looking at this thing, and I'm going, what in the hell is this? I have no idea the language, Ram, Crom, Tron, and I'm going, this doesn't make any sense to me at all. And I got to the hotel later that night after work, and I called my agent. I said, buddy, I don't want to do this. I don't even understand the language. I don't know what these people are. And he said, you're out of your mind. Take another look. Call me back. So he never really got around to turning it down. He lied to me, turning it down. He never did. He just put him off for a while. And then when I got back to L.A., I went over to Disney Studios, and Steven Lisberger showed me some footage they had done, and with people that would have been our characters. And then I saw some great storyboards and everything like that. Now, I went, okay, I kind of get it now. I do. Okay, and I had tried out for Luke Skywalker in this thing called Star Wars. I don't know whatever happened with it, but obviously didn't get it with about 1,000 other fellas. And so I thought, you know what? This looks kind of like Star Wars, only it's in an inner space, in a computer world. So, and what was a computer then? We didn't know what the hell that was all about. Something IBM had, yeah, I said, yeah, let's do it. And I'm very happy I did.
We're all happy you did. Now, being you're so thoroughly connected with the Tron franchise, between the animated shows, the video games, the movies, what would you say is has been your favorite interpretation so far from the entire Tron verse?
Well, I loved Tron Uprising. I thought it had such potential. I'm sorry it didn't go any longer than it did. We had a great voiceover cast. Lance Henderson, Elijah Wood, Mandy Moore, Rubens, what's his name? Paul Rubens. It was just a terrific cast. But what I loved about it was, having been in the real filming of it, the stylization of the animation was phenomenal. So different, and so I think it really, it made it a change of pace for Tron. It kind of kicked it into a new area. You know what I'm saying? The animation and the voice work, and I liked it because he was so much more a badass in that. This was past this naive time. This was old Tron looking for a young protege to carry on his mission, and I loved it. But we only went so long. There weren't enough fans to, at that time, to warrant going any further, I guess. But whatever the reason was, I think that would have been a good thing to keep going.
Now, one last thing I gotta know. So apparently Disney might be rebooting Tron, at least there's rumors, and they want to cast Jared Leto, supposedly. How do you feel about it? I gotta hear it from the original.
My friend, that was fake news.
I really hope it was, and if that's... Oh, thank God.
To coin somebody's phrase right now, I have connections at Disney. They said simply, it's just all talk right now. That's all it is. And I really don't know. Even that might be fake news. So, to tell you the truth, I don't know. They don't, it's, I'm happy to see there's a huge fan base for it. Maybe you never know. Maybe Disney's also going out into social media and kind of doing a little fishing expedition, throwing some chum in the water to see if anything's biting. And that may very well be it. All of this is speculation on my part. But I don't really know of anything. I've been hearing this, and all of us with Tron have been hearing this since the original one. And finally, in 2009, we got to actually do it, and it came true. So I hope there is. But I'm not going to be absolutely brokenhearted if it doesn't, because I've been there and I've done it, and it was well worth doing.
And believe me, we love you so much for it. I'm a huge Tron fan myself. Sir, it's been an honor to meet you. Thank you so much.
All right.
This is Russell signing off for Toxic Pop from Lexington 2017.
This video is sponsored by the Crazy Kings of Toys. Check them out for all your toy needs and find out why they are so crazy. Find them on eBay, Bricklink, and Facebook. Links are in the description. For more Toxic Pop, visit our website at toxicpop1.wixsite.com/toxicpop. Email us at toxicpop1@gmail.com and check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/toxicpop1 and Instagram at instagram.com/wearetoxicpop. Links are in the description.